For proper sensitization, Edo Government don hold Ogbonge Workshop with some stakeholders wey concern hotels, lounges and others for Benin City. In line with Edo State Government plan to properly plan Edo State and constantly involve Ogbonge stakeholders from different sectors, Edo State Government through the Ministry of Physical Planning, Housing, Urban and Regional Development don do talk with owners of hotels, clubs, lounges, bars and event centers for Benin City to give them informate about the Benin City Master Plan. Osti Remison, wey be the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Physical Planning, when constantly welcome the stakeholders, con chook mouth for some of the requirements for hospitality business for Benin City.
It's necessary for you to have approved building plans before any development commences and to build accordingly as specified in the approved plan. You are also expected to maintain the required standards in your development, such as parking lots, refuse disposal, etc., and work towards acceptable noise level. Once again, you are all welcome to this interactive session.
Honorable Isoke Omo, when be the Commissioner for Physical Planning, Housing, Urban and Regional Development, can do presentation when be hospitality business and the Benin City Master Plan. She talks here hospitality business now be the heartbeat of the city, and Benin City Master Plan na 30 years plan when go take us reach 2050.
The hospitality group, as it's called, are really the heartbeat of the city. We've been meeting with a lot of stakeholders for the master plans. A lot of you have heard about the master plan. Okay, we don't want anybody to plan for us, we want them to plan with us. Do you like Benin City the way it is today? Honestly. What I mean is, do you like it in the state that it is in? The amount of traffic, the amount of flooding, the state of the roads. Are you happy with it? Benin has always been a planned city, and it has always been a city. Have you realized that? It has always been a city. Benin has never been called anything apart from Benin City. Are you aware of that? So it has always had a city standard, a city nomenclature attached to it. And it has always ever been planned. Way back the 16th century, when the Portuguese, they landed here to engage with our people, they testified, this is recorded testimony, that they met a primitive city that is more beautiful than Lisbon. That was what was recorded. Our streets interlink. We run an orbital system where everything joins. You can't get lost in Benin. It's nearly impossible to get lost in Benin, because if you continue, you will actually come back to the same point. Have you realized that? Then if you look at where it used to be King Square, which is now Ring Road, you find out that all the roads that come out of it, they are properly planned. Doing this work makes me more conscious of what's going on. If you look at where the churches are on each of those roads, they are nearly equidistant. Like somebody just dropped them, like you're playing chess and you just make sure that they are sitting in the same place. Look at markets. You find out that it was really well organized. Then you had the moat, the inner one and the outer ring, which protected the city, provided drainage and things like that. And things were orderly. The roads were wide. We had clean setbacks and things like that. Can we say that about Benin today? So we're doing these master plans because what Benin used to be and what Benin is now is no longer the same. The Benin City Master Plan is a 30-year plan that will take us from here to 2050, where we see Benin as Abuja or even better, but not Benin the way it is now.
Isoke Omo talks in recent years, economic activities don't increase for Benin City and the state the Ogbonge location. She constitutes Ihama, Boundary Road and Country Home Roads as case study as she took mouth for the noise analysis, traffic and parking analysis, and how to control some of these problems for the city.
Benin is peculiarly located as a transit town. You cannot traverse the north, south, east, or western Nigeria without crossing Benin. It's not possible. To preserve our urban areas, we have identified areas for regeneration to say, okay, fine. As the city is growing, slums are being created, but we cannot leave them like that. We want to do a new town. We've started the process, but you cannot do a new town and leave the old. If you go to a city like London, if you even go to Abuja, there are new districts that are opened every other day. They are opening a district. But somehow they tie it with the original city. Now bringing it down to you is that as a result of the proliferation and explosion of these nightclubs, hotels, and things like that, a lot of residential houses have been converted to hospitality. Places that were naturally designated as residential areas are now where you see lounges, clubs, event centers. And these things have an impact. Not only impact on the environment, but impact on our people. There are a lot of illegal conversion from residential to commercial use now. Excessive noise, poor parking, poor traffic management characterize a lot of these establishments. Then there are nuisances that are health and safety hazard. So for us to ensure the rehabilitation of our existing environment, we need to call you and say, look, these are the things we're experiencing, these are the complaints we're getting, and we want to put what you're doing in the master plan, but we have to do it in a structured and orderly manner. So we took a study of Ihama boundary and country home roads. We did analysis of noise, we did analysis of traffic nuisance, we did analysis of what is actually on ground. So we thought, okay, what are we going to do? Because it is okay for me to put you as you are now in the master plan. It's okay. But would that be the ideal position? Would that be what we want? Just to say, okay, this is what is on ground, and it's all madness. But this is the Benin that we are. Is that what we want? Or we want to have a Benin where we can say, yes, we are peculiar because we're a transit state, so hospitality is part of our character. It's part of our makeup. It's part of the core business we do here. But we do it in an orderly manner. It is done in a structure. It is done orderly. It is done in such a way that I am proud to say I'm a hotelier. I'm proud to say I own an event center. I'm proud to say I own a lounge. Because we need these businesses. Don't we need them? We need them now. More even under this stress that is going on. Man must shack. Man must, everything. But we must do it orderly.
Isoke Omo, when it talks say government want to make businesses prosper, constitute mouth for hospitality business and child abuse.
We are talking about our future. These are the people that want to live Edo for. And if they are already warped, what are you living for them? Because we are messing up with our future by allowing these things to go. A lot of us understand what is happening. See now, these are children. A lot of them we took to rehabilitate. People, some of them, I don't want to tell you how young they were. And if you hear the stories, your heart just like, oh God, we are losing a whole generation. And they are all around hospitality business. The drug use in Benin. The Nigerians as young as 5 has been exposed to drug use. Has been exposed to sexual activity. I mean, these are children. Why? Why should that be? Why should a 5-year-old child understand what sex is at that level, so graphic? Because some of them have been told, turn the other side, face that side, while the thing is going on. Hotel owners, lounge owners, club owners, if we have to purpose in our hearts not to encourage child abuse. It's important. I cannot say it enough. As a human being, we grew up where we were allowed to grow up as children. We went out and played without being afraid that somebody's going to abuse us. But most of us can never allow our children to live as gay. But you don't know what's happening out there. But how can you have an establishment where this is institutionalized? How? I think God is going to bless that business. Really? We have to make up our mind that this thing is stupid. Where do people we forbid a lot of men of these things? How did we turn to everything goes now? Another thing we should not forget is evacuation. There's a fire. These things will come and haunt us. If there's a fire, some hotels, they built it so much that Maybe in short time that you can kiss your neighbor's wife, a girlfriend, from the window. They are so close like this. Buildings, harbor. What is that? You must allow light to pass. The buildings must breathe. So these setbacks are for a reason. You know, if there's a fire, if the setback is wide enough, the fire cannot transfer to the next building. But when you're close together, what do you expect? You start calling Jesus. What has Jesus got to do with anything? Or Muhammad? What has he got to do with anything? You did it yourself. Know that this thing will not work. So we need to start looking at these things and rearranging ourselves. We're going to ban use of outdoor speakers where applicable. We will not allow it. So there can be some sanity. So we can get our ears back. Parking requirements must be fully implemented by new and existing developments. What this means is this. If you have a 30-room hotel, your internal parking must be sufficient for you to continue to use those rooms. You must be able to park internally, because how these things are calculated is, what if 30 people came in and they all have cars? Which is very possible. Because you know that most times the hotel is not even a single person that stays in it. Many times. They always spare. Sometimes it might even be a room. The husband and wife are there with their small baby. You can't drive them now. You have to allow them. And so they're going to have a car. So if you don't have that kind of parking, it means that the person is going to park on the road. And when he parks on the road, he has deprived some other person of properly passing or even parking. Then, if your hotel at the moment does not have adequate parking, we're going to advise you to look for alternative locations close by that you can buy and add as parking. You understand? So we can take the pressure from the road. Smaller venues might have to ask you to reduce your patronage. So what does that mean? Let me use a typical event center. Let's say you already have your tent. And in our own analysis, we know it will not work. We'll ask you to reduce the size of that tent. That might be the solution. You cannot have this number of people. Not be all business, you know? Then they do together. If it's not going to work, we'll be realistic to tell you it's not going to work. But you also have to learn to engage with us, so we can give you the right advice. Most of the time, you do these things without engaging with us. Or, I will not lie, maybe you engage with some of us who are not very good people. So for our own personal benefits, we'll tell you, I better go ahead, nothing they happen. Go to them. A lot of you are in that position. A lot of you have had those experiences. But I'm going to have to apologize on behalf of myself and my ministry that it will not continue. You understand? I've seen some of you come to my office and really express frustration. And I know it's coming from a colleague of mine or a staff of mine advised you otherwise. Not that you did not come to ask for advice. So we would have to apologize for that and tell you that it will not go on. And you have to help us to discourage those things. First of all, we don't collect cash from anybody. We do not collect what? Cash. So anybody tells you to bring money is a thief. She is a thief. Even if it's me. We will never ask you for money. And you will always go and pay to an IGR account. Okay? We've done it so much that in our office, we have a list of qualified architects. We don't recommend anybody. There is nobody that is government agent. It's a lie. We don't have any government agent. So let nobody tell you, oh, this is a government-approved agent. We don't have any government-approved anybody. What we have is a list of architects, list of surveyors, list of engineers that are qualified for the year to practice in Edo State. So you can pick whoever you like. Do you understand? Don't even listen to those they recommend to you. It's their own people. When they start giving you a name, check. Just go and pick whoever you like. Because if you go to the person and the person does unscrupulous, we can report them to the institution and they will be removed. They will not be allowed to practice. I'm an estate surveyor, so I know what I'm saying. Do you understand? So please just err on the side of caution and ask questions. Before you go and buy a land. Somebody called me the other day and said, Madam, I want to buy a land on Boundary Road. I want to open a lounge. I said, what is the size? They say 30 by 50. I said, what is that? What is that? I said, don't even try it, because we can never give you approval under anything there. Just leave the land, let it be good. I don't even know who cut and 32 by 50. I don't know what will happen. So just ask. It's better for me to advise you. It's just like going to do a search for C of O. 25,000 will save you a lot of stress. Not after you have transferred your money, giving somebody 5 million, and find out that the land belongs to government. Is that not silliness? Just pay 25,000 and check. And you are going to be 25,000 safer. The same thing here. Just come and ask, can I do this thing? And please, let me say this. Even if you come to fiscal planning to ask, please tell them to put it in writing. Do you understand me? Don't take anybody's word for it, or they will deny you on the day. They say they don't know you. Please, this you have said, can you just put it in writing for me? They might tell you that you should officially write, so that they can give you an official document that you can hold. If I come to your place and say, no, madam, I came to your place and this was what I was told. That I could have this, I could do this. It's in writing. I assure you, if it's wuru, they will not write it. Is that clear? Because we're here to help ourselves. We are the citizens. No matter how much commissioner I am, I'm going to live in a house. Is it not so? I'm going to have neighbors. Is it not so? Abi, do I live in space? I don't. I live inside a community. So I'm also an interested party in this matter. It's not them and us. It is all us. We elected Obaseki to director, but it is us who made that decision. So we need to think back and do things properly.
Edosa Erobamie, Enwama Osamudiame, Uyi Morgan, and Bishop Sam will be hospitality stakeholders, can ask questions and give recommendations to government.
There are places in the UK, there are places in Germany, there are places in Holland that have been designated as, let me use the word, enjoyment areas. Not necessarily. There are places just in restaurants, there are places in clubs. Of course, there are red light districts as well. So one of my recommendations, even if I don't have any businesses in that zone, is that those areas, Ihama boundary, should be designated as commercial moving forward. Then there should be some, because there's some infrastructure you have to do now to ensure that those roads satisfy commercial use. When it comes to enforcement, there are some agencies you should partner. For example, EDSMA is doing a fantastic job. So we can work with EDSMA and even the mayors.
You know, we're talking about the old Benin City, the GROAs, the Akpakpavan and all that. But there is a part we actually miss in Yema. You know, it is difficult when a fish is actually smoked and is burned to try to handle, straighten it back. That's the situation with this old Benin now. But there are new areas, and nobody is actually doing anything about that currently. So that tomorrow you will leave that problem for the incoming administration, maybe in a couple of years, to start talking about areas like Eka, the other areas, the new layouts. You know, my take home from what you said was illegality is very expensive. And I know going forward I will be using that quote attached with your name. And that is the truth. You know, go to a new area. I'm actually in one of the communities of Saple Road. I just built a small hut there with my family. Suddenly we discovered that one day it's off a road and they just have to barricade the road. They sold off the road. Usually the roads are 30 by 30 feet by the road. They just barricaded it by my fence there and sold it. And the next thing was, Oga, come buy the front for 2.5 million. Or else we are going to put stores there. Then I will be flying to my house. You know, because there is this belief that nothing you can do. The next thing they will carry barrel, come meet you and your family. This is how we get to where we are now. Because the government actually living, not trying to pinpoint blame to the government, man. It's teaching time, they always say save now. When we are supposed to do things, we are not doing it. When things are really gone bad, we'll not try amending it. It also costs more. Look at the resources the government is putting in place to organize an event like this. We can channel it to other areas if this thing was done years back. Now we have other layouts. Things are already going wrong there now. The government is not going there. And things are going bad. People are jacking roads. Drainages are being blocked. Streets are nowhere. There is no actually plans for all these things. And that is where we actually get this wrong. So I'm advising the Honorable Commissioner, please, in as much as we are looking at this old city, things are already going bad in the new layout. Please go there so that it will cost the taxpayer more to try to amend things when we have the chance to actually correct them from the very beginning.
It is very unlawful, I read in a book, that it's unlawful to be lawful in an unlawful society. And that is why my brother was saying it is abnormal, to me, putting it in my words, it's abnormal to be normal in an abnormal society. But I want to have faith, and I have faith strong in this government. So if we put in place, who have thought that airport road will be what it is today, if Oshomole didn't do that? So whatever measure, whatever it takes to put things right, we should do it. This lecture is sensitization and a broader perception be given to everybody, not only in the hospitality industry. Like somebody posted or is circulating a video about the stores that were closed at Ugbo. And a lot of people were feeling pity. At the time, somebody that showed me, I was enlightening the person. I said, but this is wrong. This is wrong. Like Daddy was speaking when he said he came down from a car and corrected somebody. I said to myself, because of your gray hair probably and your size, how many persons can do that? And those bus drivers will not fight you. But the only people that can enforce is the government. When there is a task force that goes around, let's pay for it now. What else man is doing? Why not let's constitute? It will also be a way of giving a job to people. Let them put these taxis and buses and patrol vans around. When a vehicle drops something from the window, chase the vehicle, arrest the vehicle, and prosecute the.
We are talking of a master plan of Edo. The people that owns hotels right now in GRA, they have it about 20 or 25 years ago. Some are 30 years ago. Now this plan is coming on by our able governor. And this young man made mention of the new areas now. You say, Pikin will not ask question. You know the waka fowl. The governor and my able commissioner in these new areas now, are we carrying the youths that are selling lands now, the commercial area and residential area, to be fixed out now? Because tomorrow we come, we will go back there again, that this area is a commercial area. This area is residential area. Back by here when he get bow leg, not be guy. Now sickness. But to you, they say the Pekpeye get bow leg. Now sickness is there. Many of the hotels you see here now, you say they have money now. So I'm managing. And when they say NEPA will bring bill now, sometimes we pay 700,000 every month. Sometimes 1.4 million. In 4 days, the light was not stable. Manager, how much did we spend on diesel? Almost 800,000. And we are having just only 10 guests. So these things, when we are saying them now, it's like fun. When they will come and start bringing the hammer of government on your hotel, it will look like jokes. Some people will run mad. Some go sleep, they not go wake. You talk of hypertension just now. Some people, when you see where they are, so capsule they their pocket. The youth now that are selling land now know that this master plan, this area is commercial. And you see, we are living a mixed life now. In Europe, when you create a street, they will create a supermarket. Then before you know, another small hotel will attach. The hotel will have underground parking that can take about 100 cars. You will not know. And the government will be involved. The bank will be involved. If you go now and ask for a loan here now, they will throw you up and down. Bank don't sell dollar. Bank don't sell euro. But they are taking your euro and your dollar. Then when you go to the government is not involved. How do you survive? Food when everybody go eat, only one person go eat. You not go posh. Please, I am begging. We are living a mixed life today. Today you can see a man sitting by your side, and the next man you think is a man is a woman. And the next person you think that is a woman is a man. And we are all living together. You can't separate them. So whether today, residential, commercial, we must learn to live together. God bless you.
Mr. Keomo can answer these questions to help the stakeholders understand the master plan proper.
We've gone to the 7 local governments in Edo South. We are going to Central and Edo North. We have spoken to the communities. When we started Operation Plan Edo, we started with the communities because we knew that those new communities are where the problems actually are now. They are more evident. And what do I mean by that? Inside of the original Benin City, there's very little you can do to alter the roads. It's very hard for you to go and build a road. Am I lying? No. But it's where you don't have this infrastructure or the road is not yet planned. That's where a lot of all these things happen. So we're engaging. It might be that our communication is not good. I have to say that our communication is not where we should be. But we are engaging. One thing we have also done last week, last week that just passed, now last week Tuesday, we were here to look at the master plan. All the Enoges in Edo South were here, Odion Weres, Okageles, they were here. All the Olgas from the 18 local government were here. And it was an engagement because we have said to the communities now, come and register your community so that we can do a layout for you. You understand? One of the things that you have noticed here is that the original Benin City, maybe because of our architecture where we have a communal place in the center of the compound or the center of the building where everybody can come and congregate, we did not provide for neighborhood centers. So once it's 6 p.m., 7 p.m., Benin dies. The city center, everything is quiet. You can't find a shop to buy milk. You can't find anything. So people, naturally, there's a demand. They create the supply. So if that's why you see a lot of these shops coming up at weird places. People are turning their houses into shop fronts and things like that to satisfy a need. These things come up. So we recognize the fact that in the city today, we do not have neighborhood centers as we ought to have. They are not structured in a way that they will support the community. So that is why you find out that our enforcement is also not as strong. Because there are certain things that are not in place. And it will not be human, like you said, for us to enforce if we do not provide an alternative. So while we are trying to do new towns, we also want to regenerate the old places. So we're engaging differently, not the way we used to engage. Now you talked about working with agencies and then also congestion. There's something in the UK, there's congestion charge. If I must drive into the city, then I pay for it. If I live in the city and I have to park, then I have to pay because the city center is not for everybody. So those things also, if you must do these things in this area, then obviously you have to find something that will be symbiotic. And so those things will be factored in and recognized. We talked about ESMA, you understand, talking to the churches. The churches were the first people we called. So we've had this conversation. They've actually appointed people across the 5 synods of the Christian Association of Nigeria, and we're engaging with them to make sure that they do things properly. They reduce the noise, they make sure that they meet what our guidelines are. Another thing we want to do is improve our communication. So start showing people pictures. You know, it's easy for you to condemn. Many times, people just condemn. Why is government doing this? The suffer not rich. what the poor man just managed to do. This woman don't come now with bulldozer. She don't come break everything. Now so now what make us now this one make us to put Obaseki. Obaseki. Hey, this 2020. What so that's how you go behave. Oh. It's good to have information. You cannot put a shop front in your house without getting approval. If you go to Ugbo, 90% of the shops are on the road. The setbacks are gone. All. Please, setbacks are put for a reason. First of all, to put in the other things you need, whether light or telephone or whatever, but typically to save you. If a car loses control, it will first go to the setback to try and stop before it will enter people. You want to imagine a trailer lose control on Ugbo roads today? The amount of people that would die. And what are you going to call? Government. Hey, see now. I'm just talking to you about it's everywhere. It's prevalent. People are now on the roads. Some of them say you have to do. Now you won't get motor and go even if come up for the house. Abi they lie? That is the fact. And it's become a very terrible thing. So we're not saying that, yes, things have happened, things are hard in Nigeria. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to kill your business. But you must do it in line with the law.
Omo Aluke Ajakaye, TMC TV News. No forget your PVC and be your power. Not tell I'm giving a politician on election day.